Westworld series premiere, the original. Now, this episode I think is going into its fourth week. I think it just recently had like its third episode yesterday. And when I saw the premiere, or when I saw the trailer for the show, it was basically like a week or two before the show actually came out. I was like, this looks interesting. You know, I love westerns, I love sci-fi, and I certainly love like the whole Ghost in the Machine thing where things start to get a little crazy. It's like, oh, we built these amazing machines, and then they become a bit more than that. And I love that idea, and it seemed to blend them all together in a really crazy way. And I just was like, you know, it seems cool, but you know, I already view a million other random things. So I was like, I'll check it out at some point. And then it was been getting fairly popular. You know, I've heard people talk about it, and it did look really cool. So I was like, you know what? I got some time. I'm just gonna check out this first episode, and I'm glad I did because I thought it was a really cool first episode. It was very sweet. It had some of the, you know, classic Western stuff. A bunch of people got shot up, especially that whole ending sequence where they just have a ton of people getting shot up for like the, you know, the big heist. Where they play two very specific songs in this, which I really loved. And during the heist, the piano starts playing and it plays Paint It Black. I can't remember who does the song, but it's, you know, Paint It Black. And I was like, that's awesome, because I thought that was cool. And earlier in the episode, when the piano plays, it's Black Hole Sun, which I really love that song. So, you know, because I'd hear it and it's like, okay, it's the beginning of the song and everything. I'm like, I think I know this song, so I redid it. And I was like, that's Black Hole Sun. And Painted Black was actually a little bit easier for me to get, but I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's cool. They have, you know, old Western style piano versions of, you know, some fairly classic rock songs. So I thought that was pretty cool. But everything we got to see was pretty interesting. You know, we have these people that pay to go into this entire world that is, you know, Western, and they do whatever they want, and everything resets after 24 hours, or at least it should, which I will get to that in the dude in all black, because I don't know what his deal is. But everything that was going on in this episode, I really enjoyed. You know, it starts off simple enough. You know, they have kind of the flash forward to the end of the episode, which you don't really know at the beginning. It just seems like they're just talking. And then we get to see the characters come in. You know, we start off with James Marsden, and I was surprised to see that he was actually one of the robots, I guess. I don't know exactly what they call him, or the host, that's what they call him. So I thought he was, you know, especially because it's James Marsden, I just assumed he came into town and stuff like that, and he was kind of doing his thing. And when they met, when he met Dolores, it was like, oh, okay, so they actually remember, is what the first thing I was thinking. Like, oh, okay, so they remember people that come in and stuff like that. And he's like, you know, I told you I'd come back. And that's just the character that he loves, and, you know, that he loves inside this world. So that's who he wanted to be with. And then we go through all the craziness of, you know, the two guys killing Dolores' father and stuff, which the first guy was super funny. That's the dude from Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know what happened with him, but for some reason he's in like everything I see now, and I thought that was so funny because he's in Walking Dead, and he started in Walking Dead in the season finale, and then I saw him in the show called Broad City, and then he was in this, and then he was in something else I saw as well. So suddenly he's all over the freaking place, which I find so freaking hilarious. He always plays bad guys too, which is kind of funny. But, you know, they have it where James Marsden kills him and he kills his partner. I was like, okay, so, you know, he's going through and this is the fantasy and stuff that he has. And I was still trying to figure out, like, how everything played out, because I was like, I don't know if those guys were, you know, hosts, or if they were basically, you know, other people that paid to be there, but you could get fake shot and then you wake up and it's like, alright, well, you were killed by someone, so now we put you back in somewhere else and kind of reset it for you. So I wasn't 100% sure as I went through, and then it's like, oh, he's one of the hosts, and this dude in all black who came out of nowhere, like the Grim Reaper, I thought that was his job at first. I was like, okay, they go through, you know, once things kind of play out, someone goes in and it's like, alright, I do this, this, and this, and that's what resets the characters. That was the first thing I thought. Someone comes in when, you know, certain people get killed off, and they take the bodies and then they reset them, and that's how it, you know, plays out. And like I said, at this point, I still thought James Marsden was an actual person. So I was like, okay, so he killed the fake characters or the real people, I didn't know. And I was like, alright, this guy comes in as like the Grim Reaper, one of the, someone who paid to come in, got rid of some of the robots or whatever. I come in, Grim Reaper style, take the bodies out, replace them, and then it starts all over and stuff like that. And then it turns out that this dude in black is actually, he's one of the people that pays for it, and James Marsden is actually one of the hosts. And so he kills him, and apparently he rapes Dolores because that's been his thing for like 30 years. He's like, I've been coming here for 30 years. So it was interesting to watch his character throughout this series or throughout this first episode, because it started off like, okay, he just really likes Dolores, and we find out at the end of the episode she was the first host that there was. She's the original. So, he's known her since the beginning. Like, I don't know if he was one of the testers or how that's going to factor into, why he'd been there for, such a long time, considering they make a note of saying, like, oh, we paid a bunch of money for this and that. So, it costs a ton of money, and he's been doing it for 30 years. So, don't know if he was grandfathered in. I don't know. By the end of the episode, I was honestly like, maybe they forgot he was there. Maybe he's not even human. Maybe he was the first one that was broken, but he's trying to find out what's going on. He doesn't reset, and he somehow got to the point where he is impervious to the bullets or something. I don't know. Like, I'm really trying to figure this character out, because I'm like, I don't know if this dude's human. By the end of the episode, I was like, I don't know 100% if he's human or what the deal is, because maybe he's a really old host that kind of broke free and they just never realized it or something like that. It seems like they only have this one town though, so it doesn't seem like there's that much. Like, they, clearly they show it with Dolores where she is out, actually at a home and stuff like that, and so they have this huge landscape because she goes to the river and paints and stuff, and we see her at home, and they talk about the host that they used to have for her father, and how he used to be like a part of like a cannibalistic horror thing where it's like a bunch of cannibals up in the hills. So they have this giant landscape, but so far it seems to really center around this one focal point of the actual city. So it's a bunch of, houses and hotels and stuff there, or, businesses and hotels. So, it goes around, and it's just like, I don't know what to think of this dude in black, because he's like a serial killer, and we get to the end, and he's like, there's a deeper level to this game. Some people come in and get their rocks off and they shoot a couple Indians, and I'm here to do something more than that. Like, I'm here to actually play. So I don't know what the deal is. I assume, based on some of his dialogue, I assume that he is actually a human character. But at the same time, it's just like, what the heck is he looking for? Well, when he cuts the head off, when he scalps the guy, and he looks underneath the scalp, he has like the symbol and stuff. It's just confusing. I'm like, I don't understand what his deal is. Like, it's so hard to tell where they're going with that character. But I really like it. He's absolutely insane. Like, he stabs the dude, and he's like, I drained you. He has like 3 buckets of blood, and he's basically just draining this guy, and he's trying to get answers because he's trying to find something. I assume, based on what he was doing, is he's trying to find out where the actual people are, because they have that scene where they're in like the big tower at the top of the canyon, and so they can kind of look out on everything like that when they're kind of inside of the system itself. So I don't know 100% if that's what's happening, where he's trying to find this thing just to figure it out, or what the heck he's looking for, if he's trying to change the game or what the deal is. But I like the mystery behind his character and the insanity of his character. I like like I mentioned early on, the Ghost in the Machine thing seems to be a huge part, and they do the promo at the end of the episode where clearly they have to take out one of the hosts, who's the prostitute in this episode. I don't think she was 100% black, if I'm being totally honest, but she might have been. I don't really know. But they take her out, and she ends up waking up in the middle of surgery, and so now she's just out. So I'm excited for that. I don't know how far it's going to go. I assume it's going to stretch beyond her character, and that's kind of the whole downfall of this whole thing. I thought it was going to happen in the first episode, but they actually kind of, fixed it up for the most part. And I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm excited to see where they take it. I like, the crazy action of it, and I think it'll get crazier because we're going to have these characters that can die, and then they just get reset, if they're shot. So I'm not sure how crazy it's going to get as far as action goes, but as far as the mystery goes as to who the guy in black is and what he's trying to do, and just how far things are going to go with these evolving AI, I'm really excited to see it. And I love what they did just in this episode. Like when the dad, he's doing his normal thing, and he finds a picture that someone dropped who knows how long ago. It looked like it'd been there for years. And he finds this random picture and it's like, what the heck? So that's another part of it where I don't think these people are in a simulation. It seems like they're actually sent there, because otherwise, how in the world would that picture have gotten there? Like, that was something that really stood out to me. It's like, okay, and it's really clear because they actually do make these clones. Like, they make these creatures and stuff. So I don't know how exactly it all plays out. I was curious if there was some sort of shrinking sort of thing. I was really trying to figure out how do they get the people there, because they all start off on this train. So do they literally have a giant facility, and then they send the train basically through a tunnel, and then it comes out in Westworld? Because that seems like how it might actually be. The miniature thing is probably really silly, but that also makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, how else? You'd have to have trillions of dollars, zillions of dollars to do some stuff like that. So there's still some stuff there where I'm like, if you go, do you just stay? Because the guy in black, they talk about how he went there. He's been coming there for 30 years. Has he just stayed there the whole time? Does he leave and come back periodically? What is going on? And that's, a part of the thing where it's like, maybe they just forgot he was in there. He went and it's been so freaking long. He just lives in Westworld. That's just his thing. He can do whatever he wants. He can't be killed. He just does whatever he wants, and maybe he's, like I said, trying to find this facility. Maybe he just wants to take over it, and I really have no idea. I just don't know what his plan is at this point. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm excited to see where they take it for sure, though, but I don't know what the deal is with this dude. I like the action. I like the sci-fi. I'm very curious about the whole Ghost in the Machine and the evolution of these very advanced and complex AI, and how it already starts off with this new update allowing them to actually backtrack and kind of utilize old bits of programming from when they were, in different parts of Westworld, I guess, and used in different scenarios. So I certainly love this first episode. I'm actually really excited to see the most recent 2 episodes, but I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this premiere, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts, and I want to know all your guesses for this. I mean, what do you think is going on with the guy in black? How far do you guys think it'll go with the broken AI? How do they get the people there? I mean, I assume because we see them literally make horses and make people, they do send them on this train, and they actually, ship them out into basically this giant, land. They have the whole, this sort of big holographic screen where they can see everything that happens. So it's like thousands of acres, across in circumference. So they built a lot there. Like, they built an actual little world. I mean, it's called Westworld for a reason. So I'm kind of excited to get more information just on how it all even works. Does this thing just go underground? Do they shrink people? I mean, they make people. I wouldn't be surprised if they had shrinking technology, to be totally honest. I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like shrinking technology seems theoretically easier than creating AI like the way that they do, because it's way more advanced than just, oh, we built some robots. They do like everything for real, and they fill them with blood, and people can have sex with them, and all sorts of craziness and weird stuff like that. So it goes a bit beyond, oh, we literally just put some circuits together and put like some really nice latex over it. This is like way beyond other typical like AI sci-fi type stuff you see. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. Like I said, though, want to know your theories for this show and where it's headed, and what you guys thought about this premiere in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.